Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning 15 minutes. Change your life. Today, we're learning continuation of the Maimon Yehuda Atah. This year is sponsored by Yehuda's Hecht for the Lul Shmas Yeshua ben Eliyahu and Refuah Shlema for Meir Gedalia ben Chana Leah. So I'll have a video for Shlema. Shama Shahab ben Leah. Okay, now continuing learning in Ois Gimel, page 25 in this Sefer, Ois Gimel. We're discussing how there's Yehuda, Shimon and Levi, which is ultimately what brings about Yehuda. Reuven, Shimon and Levi bring out Yehuda. Now, what's Reuven, Shimon and Levi? So, in the simple sense, the simple pshat, it's the brothers. And first you have Reuven, Shimon and Levi, then you have Yehuda. But in a deeper sense, Reuven, Shimon and Levi, they represent levels of, you can look at it as in davening, a way of understanding how to daven, also in our life. So you have Reuven comes from the language of Re'iyah, seeing. You see a likus, and like we explained, it's representative in Shema that brings about a love of Hashem, but it's also that we see a likus like we have Ashkacha Pratis, and looking around and seeing godliness everywhere you go, and how everything is divinely ordained by Hashem. Shimon is Shmiya, is hearing, which is the second level. It's like you hear a story, you weren't there. It's a much more removed. It's the second part of Shema, and that produces the Yira. And Levi is Emes V'Yatziv, which is the idea of learning Torah and connecting to Hashem, like it says by Levi, Apam Yelav Ishi Elai. Then I'll be connected. My husband will be connected to me, and this is also like Hashem connected to us. Us connected to Hashem, and how do we connect to Hashem? Is through learning Torah. Now we're going to explain these ideas in more detail. Page Gimel. The idea is these three levels of Shimon and Levi. These are not just, and this is a beautiful idea, that these are not just ideas in general, but they're fundamental pillars of what the world at large stands and ourselves and how our world stands. So to us, like it says, we are called man, meaning we are a microcosm of the world. So what is that in the world at large and also within ourselves? It's Torah, Avodah, Gemus Chasadim. We're going to explain what they all are. Then we have the materials, which is interesting here. I don't fully know the answer why, but here you see that we're doing the opposite. It's Torah is Levi, Avodah is davening, which is coming from like a year, which is Shimon, and Gemus Chasadim Chesed comes from Ava is Reuven. So we're going to opposite order. So now we're going to explain. The Bechinas Reuven, what's Reuven, which is the level of Ava. Who have Gemus Chasadim? This is doing the Gemus Chasadim, doing kindness. Ki kasher yesh le Ava Hashem. When you have a love for Hashem, yesh le gam Ava le Yisrael. When you love Hashem, it means you also love a Yid, and this is one fundamental idea that the Rebbe said when he became Rebbe. This is a fundamental concept, like he says here. Sharei avas Hashem avas Yisrael hem kul echad. Loving Hashem and loving a Yid are all one. Meaning you can't say I love Hashem but I don't love other Yidden, because it's like saying I love certain aspects of a person. What do you mean? Then you don't really love them. True love them is you love all of them. And so too with us and Hashem, we're all connected. Us, a Yid, Hashem are all one. So if you love Hashem, it means you also love a Yid. And so they go one and the same. So then when you have Ava, that's Reuven, which becomes the Ava, so then you do Gemus Chasadim. Because you like a person, that's why you do kindness. Or because you like what it accomplishes, but that's what called you to do kindness. So that's Reuven. That's why you do Gemus Chasadim. Ki Ava here, what's love? Sibah Chesed. The love is the reason, is the source for Chesed. When we have love, so then we bring out a Chesed. And it's the inner intent behind doing acts. When you do something for someone, it's because you love them. Maybe the deeper level of love. Just a simple example of this. I spoke to someone recently, and I was saying, I don't love a husband and wife. The wife was like, I don't love my husband. Like, hey, they've been married a little longer already. And I don't love him, but like, we're together, we do these things. And I help him. So I said to her, based off this idea, I said to him, it can't. I said, it's because you love him. So he's like, oh, I don't know. I said, the only reason why you'll do something for him is because you love him. Maybe it's concealed, maybe it's hidden, but that's what it is. And it's the drawing down from above to below. You're bringing something down. You're giving, you're helping, meaning you're giving something. Now, that's Reuven. Reuven is the Gemara's Chasadim. Now, Shimon, which is the level of Yira, who kav aveda. This is aveda. What's aveda? That's davening. Kav hasmel, which is the left. Tefillah guf, and in davening itself, Inyan Parasha Shnir Krishma. Like we said before, this is the second part of Krishma canal, which is when you think about Hashem and making sure to not do what you shouldn't do. That comes from the year, and that holds you back from doing the negative commandments. Allah, which is raising yourself up from below to above, which is like what we do when we daven. When we daven, we take ourselves from where we are, and then we raise ourselves up. Like it says, doesn't say it here, but we say it in the wedding mimer, quoting from the Gemara in the Brachos, that you should stay with a person that hasn't davened, because that before we daven, we're a platform where we feel separated from Hashem. And through davening, it raises us up to a level of connection. So we go from below to above. So that's Shimon. Now, Levi, what's Levi? Like I said before, it was Torah. The Levi, Al Shem Yelav Isha Elai. Now my husband will be connected to me. Who kava Torah? This is about Torah. Because Al Yidei or Raisa Yishol Kutivricha Kul Echad, which through the Torah, a Yid and Hashem become one. The Torah is like the Aleph. You have the pintle, the top pintle at the bottom, and the line that connects. And what's that line? So that's the Torah. Through learning Torah, we connect to Hashem. How can you connect to Hashem? We are limited beings, and we're just not able to do so. What are we able to do already? How can we connect to Hashem? Hashem is infinite, is way infinite. It's like there's a story of a chassid. One time, Al Faranging is to Atah Chassidim, and the chassid asked his friend. He said, "No, say something." Because the guy he was talking to was the big masculine chassidus. So you say something about Hashem. No, I'm talking about Hashem. So the guy he was holding back from speaking, and finally convinced him. So he says Hashem is, and the guy slapped him, and he said Hashem is nisht. You can't say Hashem is, because it's limiting. So asking Hashem, it's not even a proper language. So how do you connect to Hashem? Hashem did His kindness; He gave you the Torah, and through the Torah, it connects us to Him. It gives us this ability to connect to Him. Even though we're infinitely different, but it's Hashem. It's like the example is given. I think brought down Hayom Yom that there's like a genius and a very simple person. They have no relationship, but through the genius asking the simpleton to do something, that produces a connection. And he says of Hayom Yom, it's irrelevant what he asked him to do. Once he asks him to do it, whatever it is you do, that gives you the ability to connect. And that's what we're saying, that through learning Torah that Hashem gave us, it gives us the ability to connect to Him. So we have Levi who Inyan Emes V'Yatziv, and this is what Levi is, which is the third part of the davening is Emes V'Yatziv after Shema. Hadavar Hazeh Shekar Kanal Torah, like we say in Emes V'Yatziv. Hadavar Hazeh Aleinu, this thing. What's this thing? It's my Torah. So this is the three pillars that the world and ourselves stand. The Torah, Avodah, Gemilas Chasadim. That the Torah is through learning Torah, we're able to connect to Hashem. The Avodah is through our davening. And the Gemilas Chasadim and doing kindness to someone else. Now the doing kindness to someone else is not. It's a simple. I was out of rain last night, and someone was saying, "You should be a happy person." He says, "What does it mean to be a happy person?" You smile at people. And it seemed to me that was something that could really have affected that person in a positive way, like to see people smiling to them. But what I took from that and what we're saying here is what's Gemilas Chasadim is doing kindness to someone else. Doing kindness to someone else is a simple act of asking how they're doing, and you could just all your friends. You call them, especially this became more popular especially during COVID, the height of it in the beginning. But this can be done all the time. You don't have to wait in situation. Just go, every day, call one or two friends, just see how they're doing, and just care about them. That's a simple act of kindness, and it just goes everywhere. There's the Gemos Chasadim. There's millions of ways to do it. And yeah, so that's the Torah Avodah Chasadim, and these are the fundamentals of our life. These are the pillars that will stand us strong and help us. Again, it's the davening, it's the learning, and the doing things for people. Doing kindness. Now, okay, let's do Daled. Daled, page 27 in this book. Base Daled. Yehuda Atah. Now we can understand what is Yehuda. Because remember, Yehuda is the result of all these things. So Yehuda is way above this. And in a certain sense, I'll do all these things properly. My Torah Avodah Limos Chasadim. So what does it mean, Yehuda Atah? Now he says your brothers will acknowledge you. What does that mean? This Avodah of your brothers, which is Reuven, Shimon and Levi, which we've been talking about, which is based Parashas Shema. The Emes V'Yatziv, which is these two parts of Shema, the first Shema and then V'Haim Shemaya, and Emes V'Yatziv. He Hakdama V'Hachana. This is all a preparation. Yehuda. So all this Torah that we have to do, this is not even the final destination. This is just a preparation for it. Or in a davening sense, the Shema and the Emes V'Yatziv is not the goal, it's the preparation stage. And like we said in yesterday, that the Shema is the Ava that you produce through recognizing the Hashgacha Pratis, and the Yira, and recognizing how insignificant you are in front of Hashem, and through learning Torah, which helps you connect to Hashem. All those are a prelude to Yehuda, which is the Veda Shemana Esrei, which is the Shemana Esrei. What's the Shemana Esrei? Hoida ubitul. It's the, how did you translate it here? Acknowledgement and self-nullification. Ka'avda kame mare. It's like a servant in front of his master. That's Shemana Esrei. Shabbat or the tefillas amida. That this self-nullification in the time of Shemana Esrei, who bitul b'tachlis l'mayla gami mehabitul d'krishma. This is the ultimate self-nullification, higher even than what is achieved through Krishma. Ukamuvan gam michiluke adinim inyan hefsek chulu ben Krishma l'Shemana Esrei. And like it's known the difference in halacha between Shema and Shemana Esrei, the stoppage, what you can and can't do. Shemana Esrei is clearly much more severe. Shemana Esrei, if there's a snake going on you, you're not meant to move, you're meant to just keep on going. Whereas in the Shema, you can move around. In the Shema, you're standing. In the Shema, you don't have to stand. All these things. So it shows how Shema is much greater level. And we're going to discuss. I want to finish paragraph, and then we're going to bring what this really means. And this idea, through the avodah of Reuven, Shimon and Levi, Magim, Achakal, Yehuda, Ben Haravi, that through the avodah of Torah avodah Moshe Chasadim, or Shema and Emes V'Yatziv, it comes to the Shemana Esrei that brings to the Hoida, this bittul. Who al derech, this happens like it's the same idea as in Gimel Aksarim, the three crowns: Kesed Torah, Kesed Kuna, and Kesed Malchus. So you have the three crowns of Kesed Torah, crown of Torah, the Kesed Kuna, the crown of priesthood, and Kesed Malchus, the crown of kingship. Shehein Gimel, Begimel Kavan Torah, which is like these three levels of Torah, Avodah, and doing kindness. The Kesed Shem Torah, but it says that the crown of a good name. It raises above all of them, which is this Yehuda, which means it's above them. But meaning shekadei lagil b'chinas kesed shem to not that reach this fourth level. Who al yedei gimak sarim al gabein. It's through going to this tree and then raising above it. Meaning like this, and we'll stop here. We'll stop at hey. Meaning like this, that through the avodah of all these things we're talking about till now and yesterday, it brings you to love Yehuda. Yehuda is Yehuda. Yehuda is a recognition. Is through working on being kind to people around you, through davening and working on davening properly, and working on learning Torah, that brings you to a recognition of Hashem in a very real way, and totally, so to speak, lost in Hashem. Bittul means, and this level of Yehuda, Bittul means not that I become a nobody, but I become nothing else but Hashem. Or like Sheish Tab says, ego stands for edging God out. The opposite of bittul is separateness from Hashem. Bittul, Yehuda, Haidah is oneness with Hashem. it pushes us to a level way above and beyond what we could imagine in our reality. And when you have that bittul, when you really connect to Hashem in that way, and you don't feel yourself something separate from Hashem, so then the world is out for the taking. And why do we? One of the reasons why we struggle is because we see ourselves as separate beings, and so it's hard for us because there's me and there's my ideas and my thoughts separated from Hashem's ideas, Hashem's thoughts. Or to use a bad example, I had a friend. They told me once. He said, we're talking about shidduchim, and he said to me, I'm worried that the person who Hashem wants me to marry is not the person I want to marry. Meaning he felt that what was destined to be for him, what Hashem had planned for him, wasn't what he wanted. And I was shocked to hear it because it doesn't make any sense. Basically, what he's saying is, you don't want what Hashem wants to give. If Hashem wants to give, then you should realize that that's what's best for you. This is the lack of the Yehuda. But the way to get the Yehuda is not by saying I'm a nobody. It's by Torah avoiding musbasadim, by doing good acts of kindness, by davening and learning in a real way, not just read the book, but like think about it and connect to it, and then daven and connect to what davening, even if it's only a little bit, when you have a little bit of time, or whatever it is you daven, the Shema that you say, the Shema that you say, you do it with a little bit of kavanah, and you try. That brings you to this ability to raise above your physical nefesh bahamis reality. To be continued tomorrow.